Ted Cruz joins us this morning. Mr. Senator, the president could be embarrassed big time by pro-Hamas demonstrators brought in as guests of congressional Democrats. He's facing that, isn't he?
Well, he is. He's facing his own party in disarray because the radical left has gotten so extreme on the issue of Israel. There's a profound anti-Israel movement in today's Democrat Party that is really disgraceful, and we see it at elite universities. We see it in the halls of Congress, and it's just one manifestation of how extreme this Democrat Party has gotten. You know, this is not your grandfather's Democrat Party. This is not, where Bill Clinton said in his State of the Union, the era of big government is over. Those words are not going to come out of Joe Biden's lips because Joe Biden's agenda is more spending, more debt, more inflation, more crime, and more illegal immigration. And I think that's his fundamental problem is we've now seen over 3 years the disaster that is his policy agenda. So he's going to do everything he can to try to change the topic and to just gaslight. I'm going to predict he's going to do something tonight that's going to be remarkable chutzpah. He's going to blame his own open borders on Republicans. That's going to be what he's going to try to do, and he's just going to try to convince the voters, never mind what's happened the last 3 years, just listen to my campaign spin.
Are you expecting an anti-business speech full of tax hikes and regulations? Because that's what we see coming down the pike. How about you?
Well, look, I don't know that he will own that as much. I think instead he will just try to argue that things are better than they are, that everyone who's struggling to pay the bills, that's struggling to pay the rent, that's seen mortgage rates skyrocket, that you're just wrong. Your life is better than you think it is, and things are hunky-dory. He's also, I think, going to talk a lot about democracy and saving democracy. Ironically, while he's refusing to debate Donald Trump and while Democrats have spent the last 3 months trying to throw Trump off the ballot to stop the voters from voting for his opponent. And I'll tell you, Stuart, 4 words you will not hear tonight. You will not hear him say the words Laken Riley, and you will not hear him say the words Jeremy Caceres. Laken Riley was a beautiful 22-year-old woman, a nursing student in Georgia, murdered by an illegal alien that Joe Biden released. Jeremy Caceres was a 2-year-old little boy in Virginia, murdered by an illegal alien that Joe Biden released. And he will not say either one of those names. He doesn't want anyone to focus on how he's endangering the families of Americans across this country.
Do you have a guest tonight?
So I do. I have a guest, Sheriff Danny Dominguez. He is the sheriff of Presidio County, Texas. That is right along the Rio Grande border. And Sheriff Dominguez is a Democrat. He's an elected Democrat. He's been an elected Democrat for 28 years. And I'll tell you, Stuart, Sheriff Dominguez has endorsed me for my reelection this year in 2024. And the reason is a number of things, but right at the heart of it is, number one, standing with law enforcement, and number two, securing the border. And today's Democrat Party in Washington refuses to do either one of those.
Senator, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell stepping down in November. Senators John Cornyn, John Thune, they've announced their bids to replace him. Who do you want to see replace Senator McConnell?
You know, listen, I'm going to listen to my colleagues. Both of those gentlemen are friends of mine. I've served with them a long time. I'm going to listen to every candidate who puts himself forward to be leader. And what I really want to see, I think we deserve a strong conservative leader. I think we deserve a leader of the Senate that is focused on honoring our promises, doing what we said we would do. I'll tell you, Stuart, when someone is newly elected to the Senate or the House, the advice I always give them is just do what you said you would do. Whatever you told the voters in September and October that you were going to do, when you get there in January and February, just do that. And I think there's a lot of frustration across this country with career politicians in both parties who don't follow through on their commitments. I think Republicans in the Senate, I hope next year, we'll have President Trump in the White House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican House. And if and when we have that, we've got a lot of work to do to turn this economy around, to get jobs back, to lower inflation, to rein in crime, and we will secure the border and fix this disaster Joe Biden's created.
It would be fun, though, wouldn't it? Republican White House, Senate. I know. Politics can be fun. Senator Cruz, thanks for being with us, sir. See you again soon.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yes, sir. Check